I am the Philosophical Bachelor, and today I'm going to describe two games philosophers can play and which belong together. As with any good game, the rules are simple but the play can be potentially challenging. The games can be played at parties, in bars, or as icebreakers for meetings, seminars and conferences for any small gatherings of philosophers and philosophy students. The games are not entirely original. They are a variant of a child's game but modified to fit our purpose. Game 1. Name the philosopher. 1. All players are welcomed, but let them be warned. This is a game about philosophers' names. 2. Each player places a small but equal amount of money on the table, say $1. The total amount of the money will be the prize for the winner of the round. So if there are 10 participants, then the winner will get $10. 3. In someone's bag or mobile device, someone will have a book, surely. The game master will shout out a page number and word number, example, page 4, word 7. The owner of the book will flip to the page and word and see what the starting letter of the word is. For example, the 7th word on page 4 is logos, so L will be the starting letter of our game. 4. The game master can begin the round. They will say a name of a famous philosopher beginning with the chosen letter. A. The name can be just the family name, example, Leuven. B. The name can be the first name, example, Wittgenstein. C. The name can be in the common language of the participants or in known and famous variants. Example, it can be in Latin, A for Avicenna, or in Arabic, I for Ibn Sina. D. The name can be in the original language of the philosopher also. If the name is in a non-Romanized language, example Korean, Chinese, Japanese, or Arabic, a phonetic spelling can be used. Example, 孔子 for Confucius. E. Titles and honorifics are not considered part of the name. Example, Russell and not Lord, Professor, Doctor, or Mr. Russell. F. If the name suggested cannot be vouched for by another player, the game master may check on the internet to see if such a person is a reasonably famous philosopher. G. No player is allowed to use the internet or any resource such as an encyclopedia while still in the game. 5. The person sitting on the left of the game master will then have to use the last letter of the name to say the next name. Example, the game master said Ludwig Wittgenstein. So the last letter is N. So the next player will have to name a philosopher whose name now begins with N. A. If the spelling of the name is in dispute, the game master may check the internet for the correct spelling. B. The game master records all names on a piece of paper in preparation for the second game. 6. The game continues, going around the circle of participants until someone gets stuck. A player is considered stuck if after allowing some brief time to go by, example 10 seconds, a challenge is issued by any player to say a name within 15 seconds or be eliminated. The challenger begins counting down, 15, 14, all the way to 0. 7. If the player whose turn it is unable to name a philosopher within the time or names a philosopher that has already been named, the player is eliminated. 8. The remaining players continue playing until there is one player left. The last remaining player is the winner. They collect the winnings, which can be used to immediately purchase a drink if the group is playing in a pub, for instance. The winner becomes the one to begin the next round by calling out the page and word number of the book used at the start. He can then begin the next round. Otherwise, if there had been sufficient names from the game, the group can move on to Game 2. Game 2. Describe the philosopher. All participants from Game 1 can resume their previous seats and new participants are welcomed to play Game 2. As in Game 1, each participant places a small but equal amount of money on the table, say $1. The total amount of the money will be the prize for the winner of the game, so 2. From all the names thrown up in Game 1, the game master can begin by selecting one philosopher from the list and give a brief description of that philosopher. Just a brief paragraph lasting no more than 1 minute will do. The game master should control the time. This is not a lecture. 3. The list gets passed to the person on the right, who can then select the next name from the list and give a brief description of that philosopher. If a name has already been selected, it cannot be selected again. 4. This continues until a player gets stuck. That player is then eliminated. 5. Whoever is the last person standing wins the prize money. 6. In this way, not only are the players challenged to think of names of philosophers, the player speaking also gets to describe a philosopher and the rest to learn briefly about what that philosopher is about. Everyone wins. Have fun!